Welcome to BIMUN TV. I'm Réka Fenyves and I'm here with Petra Sípos and Boróka Harkai. My first question is that could you please introduce yourself and tell me about your positions?
Thank you. My name is Petra. I'm the Secretary General of this year's BIMUN. I'm a senior student here at Eötvös József Gymnasium. I'll be studying abroad at university next year. And I'm the Secretary General of this conference, which means my job is to coordinate with delegates, walk them through the registration process, create the topics, assist the crisis team with writing the crisis, organizing day zero presentations, basically every professional aspect of the conference connected to debate and international relations. So basically what BIMUN is essentially about.
Thank you. My name is Boróka Harkai. I'm the Deputy Secretary General of this year's BIMUN, and my job is to assist Petra and the professional team in every aspect of their work.
And what exactly are your main tasks and responsibilities before and during the conference?
I think one of our biggest tasks is creating the country matrix, which is basically assigning each delegate one by one into committees. And after we've done that, we decide on the topics, what the committees are going to debate about. Of course, we have to keep in mind that some committees are beginner, some are intermediate, and some are advanced. For the advanced committees, we have a lovely crisis team who has done their absolute best to create an exciting and meaningful crisis. So I think our main task is to keep in touch with the MUN directors, the teachers, and ensuring that the topics and the committees are fun and enjoyable for each of our participants. So the first step in creating the committees and the conference is getting in the participants. So I think that most difficult part this year, at least for me, is the registration process. I sent the invitation out to this conference to over 150 institutions, I believe, and getting how many delegates is the most important and most difficult part of our fall semester, I believe. And after we knew that there will be approximately 250 delegates this year, the professional team and we sat down and discussed an ideal size for a committee. We agreed that we think 22 students per committee would be ideal for the quality of debate. And based on that, we created 14 different committees this year, all various difficulties and sizes. And choosing the topics is probably the next defining moment, because the countries that we chose are based off of the topics. Many Model UN conferences actually do the opposite. They pick which countries they want to be at their conference, and then they just randomly choose a topic. I think that ours stands out because the whole committee reflects what the crisis or what the topic is about, and delegates can really engage, most of them at least. So after defining the topics, we define a list of countries that we want in a specific committee. And based on what the delegates actually said in their forms and in the registration, we assign them countries. We do this because we are friends with most of them, and of course everyone has their preferences on what they would like to represent. But we try to be as fair and try to be as neutral as possible about assigning them into these countries, while also paying attention to equal representation around the globe. For example, last year we had a lot of South American countries, because the crisis was about South America and cartels. This year, the focus was more on African nations, as you can see reflected in the topics of, for example, the Counterterrorism Committee, or the Security Council, or even some of the crisis committees. So this is just a snapshot into what we take into account. We also, of course, want to assign beginner delegates into beginner committees and advanced delegates into advanced committees, although this is a really big challenge.
When do you start planning and preparing for the conference?
We started the first steps all the way back in last June. That's when Petra asked me to assist her this year, and we started by sending out invitations for this year's BIMUN.
From where do you know each other and how do you work together?
I think we met each other 3 years ago here at BIMUN. We both have been doing Model UN for a while now. I've been doing it for 5 years.
And me 4 years.
And we became friends at BIMUN because we both loved the atmosphere of the conference. We were both delegates, and we became friends, and we realized that we work together really well. We have similar interests, and that is why, other than many reasons, I asked Boróka to be my Deputy Secretary General.
What is the process behind deciding the topics for the committees?
As I said in my opening speech at Urania, sadly, deciding the topics for this year's committees was easier than it has ever been before, because reading the news and watching TV nowadays is a very shocking event. I think many of you can relate to the fact that when scrolling through my phone, a new piece of news from international politics or wars hits me each day as a shock. So I think that coming up with topics, we prioritize the key events that we find interesting and that we think is easy to debate for delegates.
And what is your favorite crisis topic this year?
For me, I really like the WTO committee, as I'm really interested in economics and foreign investments, and I find the Belt and Road Initiative really an interesting topic to talk about. Also, the Crisis Security Council it amazes me, especially looking at Taiwan and the semiconductors there. I think that AI production will play a key role in our future, both military-wise, economically. I think that's a big part of our future that we might not even realize yet. So I think that debating about their existence and their importance is really important this year.
What do you enjoy most about being the Secretary General and the Deputy Secretary General?
What amazes me, how different being an organizer than taking part as a delegate. It is a whole different experience. However, it is really exciting, and I love the fact that I get to work with my friends all day, and I really enjoy that.
My personal favorite part is walking through the committees and seeing the faces of delegates while they debate. Also, getting positive feedback is always really helpful, because we have worked really a lot on this conference, and it was difficult. It wasn't easy. So anytime I see someone smiling, enjoying their time, laughing, making friends, that brightens my whole week.
What part of the conference are you personally most proud of?
Professionally, I'd say I'm most proud of the Day Zero presentations. I was one of the main coordinators of the Day Zero presentations, and calling and emailing university professors, really prestigious researchers, deciding on what the topics should be, writing questions for the panel discussions was a task I enjoyed very much. And I think the delegates enjoyed it as much as I did, being a moderator. And it was really insightful. I was amazed on how thoroughly we could discuss some of our topics. And yeah, I think it was a great success.
What I would like to add is the process during which the delegates are getting braver by each day. At the end of the conference, even the beginner delegates are presenting their ideas bravely. They can ask POIs as well, which I think is great to see how they start to bloom as delegates.
And Petra, so Boroka will take over your position next year, and what advice would you give to her?
Firstly, I am certain that she will do a wonderful job. She will be an amazing Secretary General. My advice is to keep calm, is to stay grounded, and believe in the brand of BIMUN. As our wonderful guest speaker also said at the opening ceremony, even though there might be fluctuations in, for example, the number of participants by year, I think this is a wonderful learning opportunity for many. And I think that with thorough engagement and thorough preparation, this program is a wonderful gift that we can give. So I would just like to wish Boroka good luck and just to stay calm and collected.
Thank you. I will keep these words in mind.
And what advices would you give to future BIMUN organizer?
I would advise them to assume the best from each other and from others, for example, the delegates as well, to communicate a lot and just generally be kind with each other.
For the professional team specifically, I would recommend choosing topics in which delegates can uplift each others. I know that there are many conflict zones around the world which create endless topics for committees like the Security Council, the Crisis Councils, but I think one great aspect of Model UN that is undervalued and underestimated is its power to help teamwork and for it to teach students how to lift each other's up. So I think that finding topics which allow that and which facilitate that instead of clash points and instead of argumentation, that would be a great step next year, for example.
Boroka, you will be responsible for the task after Petra leaves. And how are you feeling about that? Are you more excited, sad, or afraid?
I'll be honest, previously this year I was afraid that I won't be able to take on such responsibility and won't be able to step into Petra's shoes. However, as I'm gaining more experience, I'm getting even more confident that I will be able to do it, and I will try my best to make BIMUN at least as great as it was in the previous years.
So my last question is that what does BIMUN mean to you?
Well, that's a really tough question. In both of our lives, BIMUN has played a great role. It has defined my high school years as a place where I can come back to, in which there's hope. I always leave BIMUN with such a positive outlook on this world, even though we're debating about such horrible things and such horrible problems and wars. I always come out with a feeling that even though these are going on, I think the connections that we make and the friendships that we make prove to me that there's still hope left in people, and politics can change and it should change, and many people believe that. On a more personal note, I can thank BIMUN for countless things. It has taught me to be confident, to be confident at public speaking. It has taught me to be more professional, to be a better team player. So I think that everything I've learned in my high school years, or most things at least, are a product of BIMUN, and I will be eternally grateful for.
As an Utrecht student, BIMUN is always the brightest and the most important part of a delegate's years. And after BIMUN, and I always feel that my view of the world has expanded so much, because we meet with many people all over the world. Some of them are a lot more professional than we are, and we can learn a lot from them, and they inspire me a lot. And also the organizing team just amazes me every year, and I'm trying to learn from them as well.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.